Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco and Rosh are here, and we are continuing Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Hello, Charlene.
But I did that today.
The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Samson. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later, around when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everyone present. That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. And those were my movements on the day it all happened. I hardly see how you could take issue with any of that.
That's for us to decide, Miss Bound.
Are you saying there's a contradiction in her story, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm more focused on proving the fact that she did indeed steal those statues. The question is, when would she have had the opportunity to do so? If I can pinpoint that, I might be able to prove what exactly she got up to.
The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby.
Hold it!
And what were you doing while you were waiting?
I was in my room practicing some dance routines. I was on a TV show called Bacon Bop with Samson, you see.
Bacon Bop? What kind of show was it?
It was a children's show. The two of them would sing and dance as they made a variety of sweets.
Her clavicle is so upsetting to look at in that image.
Oh, I didn't even... oh god, I can't see it now.
Whoa! That sounds awesome! Hold the phone. Miles, you used to watch it?
My father introduced me to it. I may have watched an episode or 2 or 20 or the entire season. So Miss Bound passed the time before the judging began by practicing her dance routines. Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures?
This was double mind. No, it wasn't.
That can't have been the moment she did it. I'd better listen carefully to what she says.
During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Samson.
Hold it!
Were you the only one who was able to move around freely during the judging?
Well, I wouldn't say freely exactly, but I was able to move around more easily than the contestants, yes. Even so, I could hardly have spirited the sculptures away while Samson was standing right there, could I? I ran straight off to change the film as soon as he asked me. I wouldn't have had time.
So, changing the film and the camera as requested by Mr. Tangaroa. Was this the moment? No, it wasn't.
But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body.
Hold it!
You entered the room containing Mr. Tangaroa's work before bringing the camera back to him, correct?
Yes, I heard the sound of something collapsing. Samson? Are you in here? Ah!
I just don't want to do it too loudly and spike my mic. I'm sorry.
100% understandable. I was having so much trouble recording one of the episodes for Raging Loop the other day since it was getting spicy, and I'm like, these are thin apartment walls. I don't want to. I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah. The sound of the chocolate chip falling over after a certain someone took a bite out of one of the supports.
And Mr. Tangaroa was still in Mr. Gusto's room when you found the body.
Yes, I'm fairly sure that was the case. He was judging each room in order, and he liked to take his time.
To the point at which you discovered Mr. Frost's body.
Sad.
Later, around when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everyone present.
Hold it!
Just as you did today.
Yes, I went around and offered everybody working on the investigation a cup of tea.
Present company included. I remember it well. You were here, there, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere in that little cot of yours.
Interesting. And did anything strike you as strange around that time?
Oh yeah, Gregory was singing the praises of Judy's tea, and I think he mentioned his saucer was cold.
His saucer was cold.
Unforgivable.
So this is it, but I quickly want to check what the fifth statement gives us.
Okay.
That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room.
Hold it!
When exactly did you see Mr. Gusto entering the victim's room?
It was while your father and the others were investigating the room where the body was found.
Gusto said he went in there to get a photo of him and Frost and the kids. Because he didn't want anyone to suspect they'd been working together, right? Pretty sloppy of him to get spotted, though. Definitely not great thief material.
I think Mr. Gusto could live with that, to be honest. So, the moment when Mr. Gusto snuck into Mr. Frost's room...
Oh, he called him Big Man.
Hold it!
Miss Bound, I believe this was when you stole the sculptures.
I hate to contradict you, but... The fountain room was full of witnesses at that point, Mr. Fender included. Are you suggesting that I somehow got the sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room, right under everyone's noses?
That is precisely what I am suggesting. Miss Bound stole those ice sculptures, and she did it by hiding them here.
Oh, so many places you could point that for a quick crass joke.
My father and Fender had no idea that one of the sculptures was mere inches away from them. Because it wasn't just a tea set you were pushing around, Miss Bound. but a hidden ice sculpture in a glass case.
Ah!
Overruled.
Surely such a thing would have been impossible. How would a case of that size fit on a serving cart? It would have been spotted immediately.
Objection.
Who said anything about a serving cart? Ooh, I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you suggesting she used instead? I'm suggesting that Miss Bound used this to transport the sculptures.
Get that left cart. No anywhere.
Take that.
And this is... the cart this Miss Bound used to move the flavored ice sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago. And it would appear that the very same cart is still here with us in this fountain room.
It was me all along!
We originally bought it for use in the contest.
And you're saying that Miss Bound loaded Mr. Frost's sculptures onto this cart and carried them off? I am. As you can imagine, all one would need to do is lay a case on its side, add a tablecloth, and it'd look exactly like a normal serving cart, thus allowing her to move the sculptures around freely. Can it be?
Holy moly! Of course! That's why those sauces were so chilly. They were sitting on top of a big block of ice. Dudes, how could you?
Impressive. Then again, you are Mr. Gregory Edgeworth's son. I should have expected no less. There isn't a scrap of evidence that I stole the sculptures all those years ago now. And yet, I knew that no matter what I said or did, I'd always be under a cloud of suspicion.
So you admit it? You would admit that you stole them from Mr. Frost's room?
Yes, I do. I took those sculptures and their glass cases out of that room 18 years ago. And as Mr. Edgeworth correctly deduced, I dressed up the lift cart as a serving cart to do it. And slipped in and out of Mr. Frost's room while I was going around serving tea to everybody. In the end, I'd removed not only the sculptures, but the flavored ice zodiac blocks as well.
Zodiac blocks? I feel like I've seen them for myself before. There's a huge block of ice on display here. It must be incredibly heavy. Though, maybe not. What with it being hollow on the inside. If the Winter Wing really is an exact replica of Mr. Frost's room from 18 years ago, then even though my father never saw them because they'd already melted, the Zodiac blocks must have been in the victim's room back then as well.
When I had finished moving the 2 ice sculptures and the 2 zodiac blocks out, I took 2 fresh, empty cases to Mr. Frost's room and put them where the original 2 had been. Only the sculptures had been kept in glass cases, you see, to prevent them from being damaged. The blocks were a little more robust, so they had been displayed as is. As stated in the contest rules, we were responsible for providing all display materials, including cases.
Meaning it would have been easy for her to repair those empty spares she swapped in.
Mr. Frost's room contained quite a few other flavored ice works in progress. I figured if I melted them down somehow, the resulting puddle would look like it came from the sculptures. And that is how the sculptures from 18 years ago came to the Winter Wing today.
I have to say, Mr. Edgeworth, that's quite the confession.
Indeed. And I think she offered it so willingly because she knows there's nothing we can do about it.
That's all I have to tell you. However, despite everything I've shared, you can't charge me with anything now, can you?
You ready for Ace Attorney to start talking about actual legal stuff? That's always the funnest part of these games. What? How do you figure that?
Oh my! I would have thought you might know at least this much, given we're at a crime scene. I suggest you memorize the various statutes of limitations outlined in this book.
She definitely got that for Eustace.
100%.
Statutes of what?
Simply put, Kay, prosecutors only have a certain amount of time within which they can put a suspect on trial for a given crime. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Theft. 7 years. Oh, okay.
Okay. Read faster.
What are you, Larry Butts?
So it's different for every crime. Murder, 15 years. Theft, 7 years. Ah!
He's like, oh, this is good information for me.
Thanks, I'm having this book. See you in 8 years.
Yes, Miss Bound stowed the sculptures 18 years ago. So it's too late to have her arrested for that crime.
I don't believe it.
Theft is a serious matter, especially when it involves the removal of evidence from a crime scene. However, as you yourself just pointed out, Miss Bound can no longer be prosecuted for a crime, rendering your revelation rather pointless, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Well, you see, the theft of the ice sculptures isn't my principal interest here. I find that the body that reappeared 18 years after the theft to be of considerably more interest.
Are you suggesting that I also hid Mr. Frost's body?
I am indeed.
But how do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it?
By hiding it in a very unusual way.
Ooh, now this is interesting.
Are you telling me that you know where the body has been all this time, Mr. Edgeworth? It's not such a big leap if you think about what Miss Bound has told us already. Let's just say it wasn't just flavored ice that she removed from Mr. Frost's room back then. Very well. If you are confident in this claim, let us put it to the test. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, where exactly was Mr. Frost's body hidden?
The ice sculptures, presumably.
Take that!
A photograph of Mr. Frost works. And of the victim's body, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Is it under the hood or something?
You will have to forgive me, but I don't see what you mean. Where exactly in this photograph is Mr. Frost's body? The victim's body is hiding right here.
Take that!
The Gemini sculpture. Yes, it may look like a sculpture at first glance, but it is in fact Mr. Frost's corpse. That's... Damn.
That's wild.
That's so fucked up. Surely you can't be serious. I don't see anything in the photographs to support such a wild claim.
Objection!
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to hide the body in plain sight. And what piece of evidence might that be? The court demands that he present what was used to conceal the body.
Take that!
Oh my god.
One of the cloths from the autumn wing. Yes, when it's made to glow in just the right way, it's so visually convincing, you might mistake it for ice.
Alright.
Isn't that right, Miss Scone?
Well, yes, dear. But you can make it look just like about anything, really, even blazing fire. And the right shade of blue would make it look like ice, yes. Exactly like it, in fact.
Overruled!
It is not the case that a certain special device is needed to generate these colors, though.
Objection!
If you would care to take another look at the photograph of the winter wing, Your Honor. You'll notice there's a small box connected to the bottom of the Gemini display case. That's... one of the very light-emitting devices in question. Detective Gumshoe even confirmed its presence. Good boy.
He will not be getting a raise for that.
I'll get him some dry vegetables for his ramen cup.
Oh my god, that would have Scotland anymore.
In fact, this particular device went missing 18 years ago. Back then, it was no doubt firmly connected to the cloth inside the display case. Which means Miss Bound had no choice but to take it with her when she removed the sculpture. So you see, this cloth and the light-emitting device were being used to create the illusion that Mr. Frost's body was in fact a statue carved from ice. No, this can't be.
Wait, so you're telling me that when we took that photo of us in the winter wing...
Yes, we were standing right in front of the body. But the body and the cloth were both recovered from the fountain. Why were they found there if the body was supposed to be in the winter wing, disguised as a sculpture?
Objection!
Because there would have been no mystery as to how the body had been hidden if we found it as is. Miss Bound needed to remove Mr. Frost from the winter wing in order to throw us off the scent.
Overruled!
Ridiculous. I don't recall her sneaking around behind our backs to throw a body in the fountain. No, and she didn't need to, because she had another method at her disposal. A trusty lift cart. The same cart that had proved so useful in executing her original theft. I believe she wheeled the body into one of the other wings and floated it down the stream to the fountain. The frozen body, being quite solid, probably got stuck somewhere along the way. Which is why only the cloth appeared at first. The cloth Miss Scone discovered. And then the body followed afterward, once it had thawed enough.
It's an ingenious theory, Mr. Edgeworth. But can you prove that it was me? It seems a little unfair to expect me to accept your accusations without proof, don't you think?
What about an eyewitness? Do you think someone might have spotted her when she was moving the body?
As a matter of fact, I do. And the contradiction in the piece of evidence I was provided will shed light on exactly how Miss Bound moved the body as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any evidence to support your allegation? Of course, I have a piece of very compelling proof right here. Then please present it to the court. What evidence do you have that proves Miss Bound acted as you claimed?
Come on. Let's see his picture.
Take that!
Yeah, he's such a terrible artist, isn't he?
Horrible, horrendous. More drawings. And is that me? Yes, Mr. Butts drew sketches of people as they passed through the fountain room. But what I'm interested in is the cart we can see here. Miss Bound's serving cart. What about it? You don't see it. She's using the same trick she used 18 years ago. Ergo, we know that Miss Bound was busy moving Mr. Frost's body when this picture was being drawn. What?
If I may, I don't see Mr. Frost's body anywhere in that sketch. All I see is a picture of me delivering chocolates to everyone.
Really? And allow me to direct your attention to the color of the tablecloth, Miss Bound. I'd originally thought that Mr. Butts had made an error, but he assured me that that couldn't possibly be the case. This tablecloth appears to be light blue. Yes, a shade of tablecloth that Miss Bound doesn't seem to own. The cloth only appears to be light blue due to the body hiding just underneath. But the shape of the cart is perfectly rectangular, just as one would expect. Surely it would be immediately obvious if the tablecloth was being draped directly over the body.
Objection!
Not if the body had been placed inside one of the hollow zodiac blocks in the winter wing. Place one of those on the lift cart, and it'd easily pass muster as a regular serving cart. Wouldn't you agree? Goddess of justice! Miss Bound, surely now you must admit that it was you who moved the body, just as you did 18 years ago.
I didn't expect you to deduce all that from a single, simple sketch. But that sketch alone isn't really enough to prove your theory, is it?
You wouldn't need to worry on that front. My case doesn't rest solely on Mr. Butt's artwork. Once you had disposed of the body, your serving cart became a simple lift cart once more, which is exactly what we discovered here in the fountain room. And without a serving cart, you had to find some place to put your chocolates.
My chocolates? The ones I was handing out?
As we saw in the sketch, you had originally placed them on top of the cart. But the chocolates you gave us came from your pocket.
Oh yeah, mine was half melted. It was still super sweet and tasty though.
Why did you suddenly feel the need to put the chocolates in your pocket, Miss Bound? It was because you no longer had a serving cart to put them on. That's why. And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you all so very much for coming on by. Hope you have a wonderful time zone wherever you are, and as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Toodaloo-hoo!
Cheery.